Hey everybody, it's Adam. Welcome back to the channel. If you have not been part of the Discord, or if you have not been able to take the massive hint in the title of this video, we're changing gears a little bit. But not how you would think. We're still talking about games, mostly video games, obviously. Thanks to a accounting error on behalf of Uncle Sam, and the refund that we were able to get because we got married and all that fun stuff, I'll spare details because genuinely it doesn't really matter. Point of the matter is that we ended up being able to pick up a couple of new things for our gaming pleasure. Now, while I still have the Xbox, I will still play it, and same thing for some PC plays. I'll stream PC and all that fun stuff, but I managed to get something for my wife that is going to engage her in some video game play that we can play together. And so the short answer of it is going to be, and followed by number 2, I managed to pick up 2 Nintendo Switches for us. And I genuinely cannot say I have been this excited about something gaming related for a very, very long time. We only have had these for a couple of days now. She's only had the chance to play it about twice now that I think about it, and I've only had the chance to play about an equal number of times. But already I am in love with this thing. The absolute feeling of this device in your hand is flawless. I have fairly beefy hands, from what I've been told, and it fits great. It doesn't feel too small, it doesn't feel too bulky, it has a nice balance to it, it's not too heavy, it doesn't get too hot while you're playing. I mean, you have all kinds of different settings that you can set up as far as brightness and sound and all that fun stuff, but the clarity is just about on par, and I haven't really played much in the realm of Nintendo games since the original Super Nintendo, when I was playing Mario Kart with an old neighbor of mine living in southern Indiana, and this was like middle school or elementary time frame that I was doing this. So what we managed to do, because the wife ends up saying to me, I proposed this to her of, hey, you know, we got Skyrim for her. She said she was intimidated by it, and you know, it was funny. I've told this story so many damn times, I can't remember if I said it here, so I'm just going to tell it again. At one point in time, I remember looking at Skyrim underneath the TV and realizing that she had never done anything beyond look at it and me opening the case to install it onto the Xbox for her to eventually play. So I asked her, you know, are you intimidated by the Xbox? Which is perfectly fine. She can be. She's allowed, very much so. And she said, absolutely. And the reason being is because it's something new. And she wasn't really all that prone to using the PlayStation 3 when we had it, and I had bought Skyrim used for it. And that's fine. She said that her speed growing up was more... Actually, the comment, or... Yeah, she made a comment at one point in time of... oh man, I love Crash Bandicoot. And how it came up, I genuinely don't remember. We were probably walking through somewhere and she saw something. And I thought, really? I never took her as any type of a video gamer, but it turns out that the classic Nintendo stuff was more her speed, and that's what she felt comfortable in. And she even said something to the effect of, I love me some fucking Mario Kart. Well, alright, great. So let's figure out where we can get that for you. So looking back, I thought, well, you know what, there's the Nintendo Classic, and that's all well and good, but it's not portable. And she gets a little intimidated when trying to utilize the TV if I'm around. She doesn't necessarily want me looking, because she gets a little, I wouldn't say self-conscious so much, as she just doesn't want to be the center of attention. She just hates it that much, and that's fine. I get the feeling. So I said, let's get a couple of Switches. At first it was going to be just for her, and through talking, she realized that she'd be able to play the games with me by having our own and doing an online multiplayer kind of a thing. And she thought, why don't you just get yourself one too? The price point, they're not that bad. We'll get years of use out of them. We can share games to some degree. I kind of had to explain some of it to her how it would work, but she's really on board with it. Unfortunately, because it's Nintendo, I don't want to say it's a dumbed down version or a simplified version, but it's not as complex as some of the other gaming consoles. So if we want to, we can hook this thing up or hook one of them up to the TV in the living room. If we don't, we don't have to. And probably 9 times out of 10, if not more, we're both going to be using these as handheld, because she may want to play a game that I don't necessarily want to play, or watch her play. So it just seemed like a really sound investment. So what we ended up doing is, I got the 2 Switches, picked up 4 games total. 2 of them are actually identical, so we can play together. So we'll just start with that one to begin with. So, you know, first one, obviously, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. She's played she's in her 4th cup now, and she absolutely loves it. She says she's really digging on it. So I've got to get in and play that, and then we'll do a little bit of challenge mode kind of a thing to see if I can bring out her competitive spirit, which is really not terribly difficult, seeing as how she is extremely competitive, more so than me, and she will talk so much shit as I'm sitting next to her, she's probably going to throw elbows at me while we're playing. But because she loves herself some Zelda as well, we had to pick up, obviously, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Why not? I look forward to being able to play this one as well. I was never the biggest Zelda fan, and I know this is probably going to get me some serious hate spit at me, maybe. I just never got into the games because, well, one, I never owned them. The games when we were growing up, I had Tetris, and Kid Icarus, and a couple of other smaller name titles, but we never had a whole lot of games to play whenever it was on the original Nintendo. So I didn't get the chance to play with them growing up, so I don't really have this love of these games that a lot of people seem to, but I'm still really excited because this is an absolutely beautiful and gorgeous looking game that I just can't wait to kind of dig into at some point. For me, though, because I've been eyeing up XCOM 2 on the Xbox, I really like the turn-based strategy type of games, which is why I really like Blood Bowl 2, I think, because it's just kind of, similar in nature. It's just more along the lines of, like, football and killing things, or trying to hurt each other. So I ended up picking up Mario+Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which I am in world there's 4 total worlds, but I'm in world 1, level 5 is what I just beat, so it's like the mid-boss, as they call it. I just unlocked Luigi, and so I'm still really early into the game, but I genuinely dig it already. It is a great game, and I can tell you that getting some advice from our buddy Shine, who's the XCOM 2 in-house resident expert kind of a thing, he and Risky the Kid, Zach, from the podcast, said, if you're going to play that, don't play XCOM 2 until after you've finished it, because Risky had done the same thing. He started playing Mario+Rabbids, he got XCOM as a gift, he started playing it, and he lost any and all interest and gave the game back to the person he had borrowed it from. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to kind of stick to my guns, wait for a really good sale for XCOM 2, and then eventually play it whenever I'm done with this game here, because I want to kind of get the full experience and not lose interest because of its more simplified nature. I also have been keeping track of a list of all of the games that I've been wanting to get. I have subscribed to a few YouTube channels that talk about the games being released, some quick little reviews and things of that sort, and I've just been really getting enthralled into the Nintendo Switch world. And I can tell you that I am absolutely chuffed, and for those that don't know what chuffed is, that is very excited and pleased. I am absolutely excited and pleased that we were able to adopt these within the first year of its life. So really, the majority of any bugs that kind of may have come out during a launch, which I don't remember seeing anything about, but if there were any, they've pretty much been worked out with these versions of the console itself. We love them already. She's pointed out the fact that when we go on our honeymoon cruise in April, she's likely going to take hers so that when there's some downtime, maybe in the evening, we don't have much else to do, right before bed, whatever the case is, she can jump in, play a couple of little things here and there, and then move on. But so far, the list that I've been keeping track of for games that I want is ever-growing. I downloaded and played part of the demo for Dragon Quest Builders, and that game, I can tell you, is going to be a problem. The issue is going to be because it brings in concepts of Minecraft, and it gives you this really great RPG experience that you would find with what I can only assume we found in Zelda or other types of games like that. The world is gorgeous, the art is very nice. It's a little chibi, which, big head, small body kind of a concept, but I don't really mind that at all. The controls are very, very fluid. It's just a very well-playing game, and apparently it has a lot of return values, so that one's kind of up there for me as far as the next one to really kind of go after. But I'm also really digging the turn-based strategy games. I would love to see if there could be like a Civilization-style game, but I doubt that Firaxis would ever bring it over. There's rumors about GTA 5, but then whether I get that one or not, I seriously doubt it. But like things like The Escapist 2, Kirby All-Star Allies, I can play with the wife, she loves Yoshi. Rocket League is something that I kind of want to check out. Constructor Plus is an interesting one. That one's kind of a SimCity-ish type of other RPG style / strategy, intimidation, mob tactic type of a thing. It's kind of an interesting look at it. But the list goes on, and it's growing and growing and growing every day that I have another video that kind of pops up in my queue. But I'm just really absolutely stoked, and I'm excited for this. I'm excited that my wife is really enthralled by it because it's something that we can play together, which is something that I had been trying to accomplish since really we got together. And with her being intimidated by some of the more recent gaming console styles, including the PS3, which I get it, settings are a little much. When when we first started dating, and I had recently moved. Well, I guess we had been dating for a few months. I had to go out of town for 2 weeks, and so I gave her free reign of the apartment before we were living together, and I had to write down the instructions for how to turn on the TV, watch a movie, watch a Netflix, and all that stuff. And so it can be a bit intimidating for somebody who has generally never grown up in a household that ever really had much of a console type of a life or environment or access to them on a regular basis, and I get that. So this is more... You can't say that it's a different speed, I mean, it's very much so console gaming at its core. It's very much so gaming at its core. It's just art style is different. The humor's a bit different. It's not geared necessarily toward just kids because, shit, I'm almost 36 and I'm loving the hell out of this thing. So it's just more, I guess you could say, user-friendly, more approachable, I think is a better way to look at it. And I think that's genuinely the strong suit that Nintendo has always kind of really had, is you make it more of a friendly, family kind of an oriented thing, and that's kind of what you're going to get. Not to say that Xbox isn't necessarily friendly or family oriented, but the majority of the time you don't necessarily see that. Obviously there's other exceptions and caveats to everything I've said, but my opinion is, honestly, for, just generally being able to approach something that you don't have much experience in, I think that wholeheartedly Switch was by far the best decision I think we made to be able to kind of get her into the gaming world. And I'm absolutely excited to see how things kind of go for her in this regard. I'm excited to be able to play games with her because we never have, aside from 2 attempts at Lego Harry Potter, and it didn't go badly. It just wasn't something that really we felt was satisfying for both of us. So this is great. This is an absolutely phenomenal thing, and I am just super excited about it. That said, we're going to go ahead and end the episode. If anyone out there still is not a part of the Discord and you want to join the Offset Collective, I'm one of the ambassadors. I'll be doing some streaming on Mixer. You'll see that I'll mention them in all of my YouTube videos for the Let's Nerd updates from here going forward, because we're trying to boost the community up a little bit. We want to grow our numbers because we think that having positive gaming communities all over the place is by far... by far just one of the better things to have. And so Discord does a great job of, giving you a platform to be able to communicate with other people in like-minded situations. And we're trying to keep things, friendly, light, and fun. But it does not just mean console gaming. For those that watch this that aren't necessarily into it but still hear about it and listen to me rant on about it for some reason, thank you, by the way. But if you have things, just general gaming plans, that's one thing that we have for a channel. We have, and I'm going to read these off real quick, for the Xbox, for the PC, for the Switch, for tabletop games, for, we have 2 Minecraft realms now, and if you have a gaming wish list, everybody that plays games in this Discord that I can tell also plays board games, or has played RPGs, or has played miniature games, or things of that sort. And so the conversations are very, very colorful as far as, the difference, or the different topics that you can hit during the course of a conversation, like, this really reminds me of this one tabletop game which I loved as a kid, or I love this miniature game, that came out several years ago, but I haven't seen anything like it. And people might say, well, actually, have you tried this video game version of that, or something similar, but it has different... It's so cool to see how all of these different tales of gaming, if you will come in and kind of intertwine into this great conversation with people that are extremely friendly, very open-minded, and very much warm and welcoming. So if you would like to join us, down in the description below, there's going to be a link, an invite link, to come join us in the Offset Collective, come have some conversation about games. Everyone and anyone is welcome. We just ask that you try to keep it friendly, fun, lighthearted, and genuinely just come join us. Come have fun. Let's build some great community around ourselves, all right? I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Really, thank you very much, everybody, for coming by, having a watch. Anybody that leaves a like or leaves a comment, or if you tell your friends about it, first subscribe. Really appreciate anything and everything. Hope everybody's doing really well. Hope you're getting some good gaming in. You're healthy and happy, all right? Everybody take care. Thanks, everybody. See ya. Bye.